Hi, welcome back to part two of my 25 card SGC grading order that I group submitted with John Newman from Sports Card Nation here locally in the Syracuse area. So I went over the first half in part one, and I'm going to go over the second half of cards here in part two. The card you're looking at right now is a 2016 Paul McBeth disc golf. He is, from my understanding, the Tiger Woods of disc golf. I had bought a collection over a year ago, and I had Allen and Ginter cards in there. And when I went and searched his card up, I was really surprised. His card raw goes for 30-40 bucks. I knew when I had it, this was going to be a card that I was going to get slabbed. When I looked at it, it looked nice. I was hoping for a 10, but with Allen and Ginter, I think it's pretty tricky because there's really no border with that splash art in the back. It's kind of hard to tell if something's centered or not, from my perspective at least. And like I said, I am a novice grader, so there might be other tips and tricks out there. If you know of any tips and tricks about Allen and Ginter grading, I'd love to hear them. So I'm really excited that this one hit a 10. This one is going to be in my eBay store for sale. And Paul McBeth has a pretty strong disc golf following in the hobby, so that's pretty cool. This next card, Johnny Bench, 1970 Topps card. This one, there's some wear up at the top there. I don't know if you can see that through it. This is an example of a card, the edge wear, that I wanted to just make sure that it was slabbed so that when I put it up for sale, the buyer knows exactly what they're getting. So, with my vintage cards here that you're going to see, that was the logic behind it. Make sure that the buyer knows what's the grade on the card, and for me to know so that I can, price it accordingly, and then we can come up with a nice deal. So pretty cool card. Imagine our catchers trying to catch these 100-mile-an-hour fastballs with the old school catcher's glove. I'm sure that would hurt today. So next one, this card is fun. I like it. I'm excited. It's the Wander Franco Montgomery Club card. So I would not grade a straight up 2022 Topps Wander Franco card. The reason I graded this card is it's a Montgomery Club card, but it's also the card of 2022, or at least the first half of 2022. So if I sell it for a decent price, I'll be happy. If not, I'll happily hold on to this and remember the days when Wander Franco base rookie cards were going for $20 and just enjoying the just a good memory. Every morning I try to tune into Bo from 1 Million Cubs Hobby Evolution channel, and we tracked this. Well, Bo tracked it, but we all just kind of followed along and watched the rise in of the Wander Franco prices, and that was fun. So I got this card slab for that memory purpose, but if I could fetch a good price for it, I will sell that as well too. So, but that's why I submitted that one. Mike Trout, 1975 design mini. So these cards were raw. These cards were fetching pretty decent prices, and I saw there wasn't a ton of graded of these versions, and they had some pretty nice pricing on them. So I went ahead. I figured it's probably never hard to sell a Mike Trout graded card. Unless he gets hurt. But up until the point in time when that happens, this will be posted in my eBay store, and we'll kind of go from there. Happy to get a 10 on a mini. So this next card I thought was really nice, and so this received a 6. Honestly, I don't know why it got a 6 versus a 5 or a 7. I don't know if it's kind of the cut here on the side, off-centering on the back, or what, because the front looks really sharp. The corners look really nice. It's just a really cool Rod Carew All-Star rookie card here. I like it. This is a card that I would sell, but I would also be happy to hold on to long-term because Rod Carew's cool. Even as a White Sox fan, I can appreciate a Twins great. So just an all-around cool card. So 6 on that. This next one, now this one, I'm going to build up a little bit of anticipation. This one, John Newman told me this is one of the highest grades that he's seen come through on a card like this, and I was really excited. So a Thurman Munson Rookie Stars and an 8. So I'm really happy. Right now, this card, there's only one other of these cards posted on eBay, and I think the person was asking like $1,400 or something to start the bidding on theirs. Now, what I have said, you can ask whatever you want on eBay. It doesn't mean that that's what the value of it is. But still, this is to get a 1970s Topps card that stood the test of time, to get an 8 on it, and for it to be a Thurman Munson. I'm excited because lots of Thurman Munson fans out in the hobby and lots of Yankees fans in the hobby as well. So this is an example of a card that is purely a financial play for me. I'm a White Sox fan, so I'm not a Yankees fan. I don't have really any interest in Thurman Munson I'm not a Thurman Munson collector or anything like that. So this is, I'm really happy with the 8. It's in my eBay store. I'm going to go from there and see what happens. So next one, Clemente. This one had some little corner wear there, so and corner wear up here. But cool card. Roberto Clemente just seems to make really cool cards. 4.5 on the grade here. This is another example of me just wanting this card to be accurately graded so that when I sell it on eBay in my eBay store, I'll put the link to that eBay store in the description below, that the buyer knows exactly what they're getting. And so I'm happy with it. It is what it is on some of these vintage cards. Sometimes I don't quite understand, how they come up with the number. But, it is what it is. And then the buyer knows and I know, and we can accurately move forward. Next card, 68, Hank Aaron. So this one, if you looked at it, if it wasn't a Hank Aaron card, I wouldn't have submitted it because, you can see the bottom part is, not, you can tell it's off. and it also has some soft corners up here at the top. And the back, some issues down here and up there. So, but because it's a Hank Aaron card, and there are lots of Hank Aaron collectors out there, I knew that if I got it graded, there'll be a buyer out there at this price. Whatever the market price is at the time that it goes for sale, there will be people out there that want it, and they'll know exactly what they're getting. So, happy with that. This next one's cool card, the 75 Topps. I showed you in part 1 the George Brett 75 Topps rookie card. Here's Robin Yount. And this one scored a 4. And honestly, I don't really quite know what. I mean, I think it's pretty beat up. I think that's easy for me to see. But let's do a side-by-side comparison. Here's the George Brett. And this one scored a 5. And here's the Robin Yount. So if this one's a 5, so you can see the whole thing. I don't quite know how this is a 4. I would honestly think that this one is beat up more than the Brett by more than 1 grade. But like I said, I'm not a card grader. But I do think that if I was being honest, if you look at the George Brett and that's a 5, then this would be, I think, a 3. But like I said, I've only graded a couple of times, so I don't know much when it comes to that. But either way, cool card. The buyer would know what they were getting now. I would love to hear what you would think. If this was your raw card and you were listing it for sale, would you consider it to be very good, fair, or poor? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. I think there's so much in conditioning is subjective. For me, I don't think I would put this as very good. I think this is a fair or a poor from my book as a seller with the wear. It's a cool card, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying conditional purposes. All All right, next one. We got 3 left here. This one's a Willie Mays from 1970 Topps. This one scored a 5. Yeah, nice card. There's a little bit of a software on the corners here. The centering looks pretty decent. But 1970 Topps Willie Mays at a 5. I'm sure there will be a market for this card when it goes into the eBay store. This is a pure transactional card for me. I like Willie Mays, but I have the things that I PC, and Willie Mays is not one of them. Let's see. Chipper Jones. This was cool. The reason I got this one graded. This is a Rookie Recollections Gold Refractor. So it's a Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor, numbered out of 50. Chipper Jones sells really strong in my eBay store. I have a lot of Braves fans that follow me, so I thought, there's only 49 other of these cards out there in the world, and I have number 36 out of 50. I thought the card looked really sharp, and so I submitted it off to get graded because I wanted to see where it's at. And when it goes up in my eBay store, we'll see. There's not many of these out there to begin with, and there's not many of these out there that are graded. And I saw a significant amount of Chipper Jones just raw cards in my store. So I think the people that follow my store, there will be somebody that will like this. So last card here is Mike Trout, the 1975 design. Now this is an example of a card that I had submitted 2 of because it was Mike Trout. It was it's a nice card, and the other one was a 10. The other one here hit a 10. This one hit a 9.5. I have a little scratch on the case that I've got to get figured out. That came back. But so if you know how to get scratches out of the case, I'd love to hear your comments below. But so I submitted both of them, hoping that one would 10, knowing that, the odds of both of them getting a 10, probably aren't high, but they both look nice. And if we're doing a pure comparison, looking at each of the cards closely, hard to tell the difference for me. But I hope you enjoyed seeing all these cards. I'm going to leave you with the most expensive slab I've ever bought. Did not come from this order, but for those of you that know, I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, and this is the future of the Green Bay Packers. At this point in time, Jordan Love is the starting quarterback, and the Packers are figuring out what they're going to do with with Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. So I picked this one up, and yeah, I'm excited. So hope you enjoyed seeing the different cards. Love to hear your thoughts on if you grade or if you don't grade. What do you look for in a card when you're submitting? And do you think grading is worth it for you or not? I've slowly come around to grading, but purely as a long-term protection, for storage purposes. And protecting a card that I want to keep protected and then the flip side of it is purely financial, purely just to make sure that transactions move smoothly and that when you're dealing with a card that might be, above that $40, $50, $60 range, that there's a numerical grade associated with it so that there's no fuzziness. So that's how I approach it. Hope you enjoyed today's part 2 of the 25 card order. Have a great day.